Money becomes the building blocks that can either build you a cell or a kingdom. The difference is with money now you are self-imposing it. You know, there are times when you shift gears, right? And you feel it. You feel the car, you feel the acceleration, you feel the power inside of it. You feel the shift happening. And I'm telling y'all right now, man, we shifting gears, y'all. And so before we get into it tonight, I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all, right, for letting us come into y'all home, for letting us, you know, come into while you at work, while you at lunch. Listen, there is no Wallstreet Trapper without y'all. There is no Wall Street Looks Like Us without y'all. There is no reason to get the Freedom Center without y'all. So I just want to tell each and every one of y'all, man, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And let's go, y'all. All right, so this one here is on my heart. Right? I thought about something as I was sitting down, you know, as I watched my team move around. I want to say this like this. Everybody wants freedom until you realize what freedom requires. Everybody wants freedom until you realize what it requires. It requires you to be comfortable in uncertainty. It requires you to actually seek situations that apply pressure on you. It requires, it's almost like a burden when you chasing it, because you feel the weight of every decision you make or don't make. That's what freedom, like when you're after freedom, there's always the risk of being captured. When you're after freedom, you're always one wrong move from going back to the plantation. But on that pursuit, you have to develop something. And it's something that you are actually unfamiliar with, because it only comes out of you in spurts during your life. There's a need, there's a rage, there's a passion, there's a desire, there's a anger, there's a hate, there's a sadness, there's a joy. Freedom requires all of those feelings. And the reason why a lot of us are delusional about it is because the requirements, watch me here, they're non-negotiable. The requirements to freedom are non-negotiable. And so I think about, I think it's Proverbs 25:8 where it says, a city without walls is like a man with no discipline. Right? Freedom requires discipline. Without discipline, wealth leaks. Without discipline, you can't go to the next level. Freedom requires standards. Freedom requires boundaries. Freedom requires a consistent seek for the uncomfortable. And so it made me realize why most people only desire freedom but never require freedom. Yeah. There's a difference between what you desire and then what you require. So when you require freedom, that means that your standards are set and everything you do is to attain it, accumulate it, and then steward it. But when you desire it, that means you just have a lust for it. It just means you may have a vision for it, but you are not truly taking action to attain it. And so one of the things I really dug deep in my heart on was, I said, there is no way that I am not willing to risk everything in me to stay free. Now the thing that hurts a lot of people is, watch this, Jose, they think once they get the money, you can get the freedom. But the money can actually make you a bigger slave. Wait, let me rephrase that. Money can actually put bigger shackles on you. Oh, that's it. So what happens is you get the money and then you are able to get everything you wanted except for the freedom. Because you tied the freedom to materialistic things, not realizing that freedom was a much deeper thing. Freedom was the ability to wake up and do what you wanted to do, but everything that you did because you had the freedom to do it was build walls around yourself. Come on. Money is actually oh, this is good. Money is actually the building blocks that can either build a cell or a kingdom. Money becomes the building blocks that can either build you a cell or a kingdom. The difference is with money now, you are self-imposing it. So what freedom does is freedom takes the blame from everybody else and puts all the blame on you. And why people really just desire freedom and not require freedom is because now you can't blame nobody but self. And it's easier to complain in a cell than to work hard when you free. That's it. It's easier to complain in the cell about what you were gonna do than to be free and then do everything and make the mistakes and go through the hardships, and you can't blame nobody but self. Freedom is self-accountability, while building the cell is the ability to blame someone else. That's it. So when you truly say, I want to be free, I want you to ask yourself, are you willing to keep paying the price? When you say, yo, I want my financial freedom, I want you to understand that it's a price that you got to pay every day. Because watch this. Financial freedom means nobody wakes you up in the morning. You got to wake yourself up in the morning. Financial freedom means you got to make the investments. Financial freedom means you got to have the discipline. Financial freedom means you got to tell yourself no when your flesh saying yes. Financial freedom is you being accountable for all the money decisions that you make from this point on. Are you ready for that type of accountability? Are you ready for that type of accountability? Or do you just want money to buy all the things that you couldn't buy when you was broke? Are you okay with being a rich slave? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Am I okay with being a rich slave? It's a deep question. It's rooted. It's layered. Because on the outside, it's like, yep, he got money, she got money. They got all the stuff. But at night, it's anxiety. At night, it's worry. At night, I'm panicking. And at night, I'm thinking about what's my next move. See, the biggest voices come when it's quiet. See, I remember when I was in prison, it's like Watch this, yo. I remember when I was in prison, one of the things we used to do at night is we used to joke each other and run EPs. And what that meant was, like, sometimes people be telling the stories and they be exaggerating. Right? Sometimes, like, you would tell a story like, yo, I went to the store, but instead of saying you went to the store, you make up all these things that happened on the way to the store. Like, this is a 5-minute store run, but it led to a 5-hour episode. That's why it's called an ep. What I'm saying is, like, when I was in jail, when I was in prison, I told a lot of stories. I said a lot of things, but sometimes I embellished. So why am I saying that to you right now? Is because, watch this, when you build the cell, instead of being free, you get to say all the things you would do if you was free while you in prison. And I ain't talking about, watch this, I ain't talking about the prison I'm talking about the financial prison that you put yourself in. I'm talking about you looking at somebody else saying, I would have did this, I would have did that, I can do this, I can do that. But when presented with the situation, you do the total opposite. So my question is, are you willing to pay the price for freedom? Because freedom is an acquired taste. That's what I needed to go at. Freedom is an acquired taste, right? It's like the thing that everybody wants, but the people who get it understand what it takes to get there, and they don't dangle it over nobody. They just understand if you want it, it's there for you, but everybody ain't willing to commit 100%. I want you to say this tonight. Freedom requires everything in me and then some. Freedom requires everything within you and then some. Meaning it got a tax on it. It's the freedom tax. It's the freedom tax. And you can tell people who are free. They walk different, they talk different. Watch this. I ain't said you can tell people with money. I ain't saying you can tell people that got $1 million. I said you can tell a person who's free. There's a different language, there's a different dialogue, there's a different political belief, there's a different spirit about them, there's a different way they walk through the world, there's a different way they look at the world. There's a freedom tax to it. You got to pay it every day. It's an acquired taste. But here's what I do know. Here's what I do know. Once you taste it, it's life-changing. This is why, man, listen, I'm born in 1982. I have no idea what it was like to be a runaway slave running from a plantation. But here's what I do know. The people who ran, they had a vision. And they knew that the freedom that they were chasing, it was worth dying for. It was worth sacrificing for. It was worth bleeding for. It was worth getting hung for. It was worth all the bad things that kept some people still. It was worth all of that and then some to leave. So I need to ask you a question. Is it worth it to you to leave? To put it all on the line, to sacrifice it all, to get out of safety, to get uncomfortable, to run in the dark, following the stars. Is it worth it? Is it worth it till you look back and say, yo, I am the reason why we free. I am the reason that my last name is an asset. I am the reason that my family's blueprint has changed. I am the reason my family has increases purchasing power. I am the reason why my family net worth is different. I am the blueprint. I am the reason. I am the one. I am the trailblazer. Is it worth it to you? Because once one of y'all get free, you can free everybody else. There's a whole different language. Watch this. Once you get free, everybody after you gets birth freedom. That's the Listen, once you get free, everybody else get burst into freedom. That's good. That's good. Imagine once you get free, everyone behind you, they get burst into freedom. The opportunity. The way they get to see the world. I want you to understand, man, every time you lose a trade, every time the business may go bad, every time the real estate might not go how you want it to go, I need you to understand that is just a down payment to freedom. Keep going. You're going to lose the trade sometime. It's going to go the other way. Guess what? Keep going. Listen to me. The trucking business might not have went like you wanted to go. Keep going. The clothing line may not go how you wanted to go. Keep going. Keep going. The real estate deal might fall through. Keep going. Keep going. It's something in you. Freedom is an acquired taste. And everybody don't get to taste it. But those that do, that never give it up again. Freedom. It's an acquired taste. And you deserve it. It's your birthright. You don't have to look at all these different people and all these different families and be like, oh, well, they was born into money. Guess what? That means there's an opportunity for you. So when people tell me the market gonna crash, I'll be like, guess what? I'm gonna be richer than I ever been. When people say we're gonna go into the recession, I say, guess what? I'm gonna be richer than I ever been. When people say the economy, guess what? I'm gonna be richer than I ever been. Because you talking to me from a slave perspective. I'm talking to you from a wealthy person perspective. I'm talking to you from a freedom perspective. Because here's what I know, and here's what I know well, that every time the market crashes, every time the economy crashes, there's some people that get poorer and there's some people that 10x their wealth. You get to make the decision what side you want to be on. Freedom is an acquired taste.